What's up, family? It's Cousin Five, your favorite book cousin, and I'm back with another video. Now, as you can see from the title, we're talking about books that I done picked up. Now, this isn't inherently a book haul, but it's kind of like a book haul because I got a bunch of books. I ain't got a bunch of books, but I got like 8 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. So it's like a mini book haul. Let's say it's like a mini book haul. But these are books that I picked up over the past couple weeks, just kind of dibbling and dabbling in and out of stores. Like if I go to Walmart, I'm trying to go grocery shopping. If I walk past that book section, I'm browsing some books. Y'all better know it. I'm browsing some books. And if I browse, I gotta buy. Because why browse books if you're not gonna buy a book? And if you buy one book, then I feel like you gotta buy 2 books because that first book is gonna be lonely. So you gotta buy that a brother or sister book. You know what I mean? And then if you buy 2 books, you don't want to buy 2. You gotta buy 3. And if you buy 3, you gotta put 1 back because you're doing too much at that point. You know, if you're not there to buy books, why are you buying 3 books? I'll put 1 back. Then I'll just leave with 2. But then I might get that 3rd book again. Moral of the story is I need to stop buying books, but I can't. I have a problem. And then I got some books from the airport though. So when I'm in the airport and I got time to spare, I walk in the bookstore and again I browse. I buy a book. I can't just buy 1. I buy 2, maybe 3, and then the cycle continues. But that's what I've been doing the past couple weeks, and I culminated a little stack of books. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna show my family. Coming to y'all to show y'all what I got because y'all are who I talk to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my friends, y'all my family. Like, we gonna chat it up as much as possible. So I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get right into it. The first book we have is Icebreaker by Henda Grace. Go ahead and get into that cover, man. Now, this is a book that I've seen on TikTok non-stop. When I say non-stop, this book probably owns stock in TikTok because I see it everywhere. This has taken over BookTok for sure. I know it's a little bit of an older book, I think. I still see it nonstop. I don't necessarily know what this book is about, but I mean, obviously it's about a skater and a hockey player. But the one thing that I have seen about this book is that it is deceivingly spicy, like very spicy. And I haven't read a book with a lot of spice just yet, so I'm very curious as to how this is finna go. Now, I don't know what this book is about, so let's read the synopsis. It says, Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California, Maple Hills, and lands a place on their competitive figure skating team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as team captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facilities mishap means they are forced to share the rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she could never like a hockey player, right? I kind of like the plot of this book. Seems a little like predictable, but I like the plot. I like sports in general, so I'm not necessarily a hockey person, but I love sports, especially when 2 different sports kind of collide. So I'm very interested to read this book, and especially with all the spice. We're going to see how that spiciness goes. But I think this is a good book. I've only heard good things about it, so I'm very interested to read it. I'm going to let y'all know how this go. All right, so the next book we're about to get into is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. Now, I haven't read one of Freida McFadden's book yet, but it's on my July TBR to read one of Freida McFadden's books. This book is basically about a housemaid, obviously. So the housemaid, she enjoys cleaning. The Winchesters that's who owns the house. She enjoys cleaning their house from top to bottom. She loves cleaning it. She loves being there. But she sees how Nina, which I'm assuming is the wife, the wife of the house, she sees how she treats her daughter. She sees how she leaves messes just for the housemaid to clean up. And she also sees how her husband, Andrew, is more broken every single day. But she says, as she looks into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. So one day, the housemaid tries on one of Nina's white dresses, and Nina finds out. And then it says, by the time she realizes her attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, is far too late. She says, but I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. So this is about a housemaid who is capable of some pretty bad stuff. But it seems like the Winchesters are capable of some bad stuff too. Because it seems like a lot of stuff is going on that people on the outside don't know about. And this is a psychological suspense. And from everything that I heard, Frida McFadden is a fire, and I mean fire, author. So I'm super excited to read this one. I've been getting into my thrillers. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this book. So this one is going to be a banger for sure. And I'm going to let y'all know when I read it, like always. The next book we finna get into is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I'm listening to Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and the audiobook really just not doing it for me. It's a good book because I like what she's writing about, but the audio just isn't doing it for me. But I've seen so much about this book as well that I just had to grab it because from what I've listened to so far, Abby Jimenez is a dope author. So I had to grab it. Now, this book is about Dr. Brianna Ortiz, and it says her life is just spiraling in the wrong direction, just going down. Now it says that she's getting a divorce, which is about to be finalized. Her brother is running out of time to find a kidney, and that promotion that she wants, it says that she's sure that the new man doctor, who's already registering at 87 on her pain in the ass scale, is going to get that job. But just when all systems are set to hate, it says Dr. Jacob Maddox, which I'm assuming is the male doctor, completely flips the game by sending Brianna a letter. And it says it's a really good letter, like the kind that proves that Jacob isn't actually Satan. Worse, he might be this fantastically funny and subversively likable guy who's terrible at first impressions. Because suddenly he and Bree are exchanging letters, sharing lunch dates in her sob closet. Can't wait to see what that is. I mean, it's obviously a closet that she go to just to cry in. You know, we all gotta have them places just let it ride. But it says, and discussing the merits of freakishly tiny horses. Interesting. But when Jacob decides to give Brianna the best gift imaginable, a kidney for her brother, she wonders just how she can resist this quietly sexy new doctor, especially when he calls in a favor that she can't refuse. It's a lot to unpack there. It's a lot to unpack. She's going through a divorce. She hates this doctor, doesn't even know the doctor, but she hates him because he's about to take her promotion. So she thinks. But then she finds out that he's nice. And then he gives her brother a kidney. Like, that's a big jump from hating this man to finding out he's nice to y'all talking a little bit. And then he just give your brother a kidney. Like, okay. And then he's asking a favor that she can't refuse. Like, what is this favor that you feel like you can't refuse? I mean, after somebody give your family member a kidney, I feel like you can't refuse any favors. I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty big ask. I like the plot of this. It sounds like a good book. I've heard it was a good book. So I'm excited to read this one. And I think I'm going to fly through this one. Like I said, Abby Jimenez is a really good writer from what I've listened to so far from Just for the Summer. So we're going to get into this one. And again, I'm going to let y'all know how it go. Because Just for the Summer, I think I'm going to have to get the physical book to really get through it. I don't know if I can keep listening to the audiobook. Yours Truly is definitely going to be a good one from the synopsis. Okay, fam. So this next book is kind of a book that I didn't think to grab. Like, I looked at it, I read the back. Like, I got to stop digging in my nose. And the back had me hooked. And that is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. Now, if I'm saying that name wrong, let me know in the comments. But I think that's how you say it. Isabel Cañas. This book is about a woman who, during the overthrow of the Mexican government, her father was executed and her home got, like, destroyed. After that, a handsome man came and proposed to her. And she ignored the rumors about his first wife just meeting her untimely demise. Like apparently she got out of nowhere. So she ignored those rumors and married this man anyway. She soon realizes that the hacienda that she's living in is not the dream house that she expected it to be. Now, I'm going to just read the synopsis for y'all real quick because this book has a lot to unpack and it's a little confusing to talk about. It's a lot of information on here. But it says, during the overthrow of the Mexican government, Beatrice's father was executed and her home destroyed. When handsome Don Rodolfo Salarizano proposes, Beatrice ignores the rumors surrounding his first wife's sudden demise, choosing instead to seize the security that his estate in the countryside provides. She will have her own home again, no matter the cost. But Hacienda San Isidro is not the sanctuary that she imagined. When Rodolfo returns to work in the capital, visions and voices invade Beatrice's sleep. The weight of invisible eyes follow her every move. Rodolfo's sister, Juana, scoffs at Beatrice's fears, but why does she refuse to enter the house at night? Why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark the doorway with strange symbols? What really happened to the first Donna Salarizano? Questions. Beatrice only knows two things for certain. Something is wrong with the hacienda, and nobody there will save her. Desperate for help, she clings to the young priest, Padre Andres, as an ally. No ordinary priest, Andres will have to rely on his skills as a witch to fight off the malevolent presence haunting the hacienda and protect the woman for whom he feels a powerful, forbidden attraction. Interesting. But he even might not be enough to battle the darkness. Far from a refuge, San Isidro may be Beatrice's doom. This book is about to be motherfucking good. I'm not really no horror reader, and I don't really like horror like that. And it says it's a suspense book, but it seems kind of like horror-based and like ghost-based, I guess. But this book sounds like it's gonna be fire because she ignored every red flag that you could have. Because I feel like it was a lot of red flags that they was talking about. And the biggest one is what happened to this man's wife before. What happened to his first wife. That's enough to stop me in my tracks. I don't know about y'all, but she ain't care about none of that. So this book is going to be very interesting to see how it progresses from her thinking that it's going to be the time of her life and she's going to have the most security that she's ever had since her father got off and her house destroyed. This might be one of them ones. I don't know. If y'all read this book, let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments because I haven't seen anybody talk about this book before. I know somebody that read it, so y'all let me know because this sounds like a really good one. Okay, fam. This next book we about to read seems like it's going to be a really good one, but it seems like it's definitely going to come with some trigger warnings and things that you need to look out for if this hits close to home. So this is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. If you read it, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, this book is about two best friends. One is addicted to sex. She's in college, and while everybody else is partying, she's in the bathroom getting laid. It leads her to one-night stands, steamy hookups, and it says events she shamefully regrets. But the only person who knows is her best friend, who also has an addiction. But he's addicted to booze. He addicted to that liquor, like really addicted. Because that liquor is his best friend. But Lily, she's a close second to that bottle. It says for 3 years, they pretended to be in a real relationship, hiding their addictions from their families. They've mastered the art of concealing flasks and random guys who filter in and out of their apartment. As they sink beneath the weight of their addictions, they cling harder to a destructive relationship and wonder if a life together for real is better than a lie. Strangers and family begin to infiltrate their guarded lives, and with new challenges, they realize they may not be just addicted to alcohol and sex. Their real vice may be each other. I haven't heard of this book. I don't think I've seen it anywhere. But yeah, I love this. Like, I have dealt with people in my family who've had addictions, so I know how that goes. You know, so this kind of hits close to home. Like, I have people in my family who have been addicted to liquor and things like that. So it's definitely is close to home, honestly. But it's something that I feel like I can kind of relate to, and it's something that I feel like is important. You know, people really go through things and people lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Addiction is a real disease. So I'm interested to see how this goes, because this is something that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. This is something that some of us may have been through. So I'm curious to see how the dynamic plays out. You know, I'm curious to see how this goes. And I think this is a series, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy, but don't quote me on that. If you know, put it in the comments so I can know and other people can know. What I really like on the back is it says, she's addicted to sex, he's addicted to booze. The only way out is rock bottom. That got me. I'm excited to read it. I haven't heard of Krista and Becca Ritchie, but if this is good, y'all will be hearing a lot more about them. All right, y'all. So this next book that I'm about to talk about is a scientific book. So it's a nonfiction book, but y'all already know that I love to dibble dabble in different genres, and I really do like learning stuff. And I'm super excited to read this one, and I'm super excited to get into it because I feel like I can learn a lot from this book, and it's about technology, and I love learning about technology. But that book is Quantum Supremacy by Michio Kaku. I think that's how you say his name. This book is basically about quantum computers, and Michio is explaining how quantum computers are going to revolutionize the world, how quantum computing calculates on atoms themselves. And it says the race is already on to exploit their incredible power to design more efficient vehicles, create life-saving new drugs, and streamline businesses. There is no problem humanity faces that might not be addressed by quantum computers. It talks a lot more about these computers solving diseases like Alzheimer's, ALS, Parkinson's. It already said that these quantum computers are being put to work to solve one of the biggest mysteries, which is the origin of the universe. So this is something I'm definitely ready to read, and it's something that I think is important. Like, technology is getting better and better every single day, and at the rate technology is getting, you need to be up on what's going on, because it's coming and it's not stopping. So yeah, I'm ready to read and learn about it, and, you know, just up my knowledge. I just like knowing a lot of things. I like knowing stuff that's actually really important as well, because this is super important. But something that I really just picked up, I think I picked this one up at the airport. It's caught my attention. Like, the cover caught my attention. Then when I read the back, yeah, it was over with. So I'm gonna let y'all know how this one go. I think I'm gonna learn a lot from it. It's not that long of a book. It's really only 300 pages. So it's a pretty quick read. This is gonna be a good one for sure. All right, so we only got 2 books left. But the next book that we're going to talk about is The House in the Pines by Ana Reyes. And this book was the #1 bestseller, I think, in the bookstore that I was at. So I had to see what it was talking about. You're #1, so you gotta be good for something. I've never heard of this author. This is like a suspense book. I read the back. I was like, this is definitely gonna be something interesting. So it says, Maya was a high school senior when her best friend Aubrey dropped dead in front of an enigmatic man named Frank, whom they'd been spending time with all summer. 7 years later, Maya lives in Boston with a loving boyfriend and is kicking the secret addiction that has allowed her to cope with what happened years ago, the gaps in her memories and the lost time that she can't account for. But her past comes rushing back when she comes across a recent YouTube video in which a young woman suddenly keels over and dies in a diner while sitting across from none other than Frank. Plunged into the trauma that has defined her life, Maya heads to Berkshire's hometown to relive that fatal summer, the influence Frank once had her on, and the obsessive jealousy that nearly destroyed her friendship with Aubrey. At her mother's house, she excavates fragments of her past and notices hidden messages in her deceased Guatemalan father's book that didn't stand out to her earlier. To save herself, she must understand the story written before she was born, but time keeps running out, and soon, all roads are leading back to Frank's cabin. Very, very wild. People just keep dying in front of this man. Like, I don't understand it. It's something way deeper than this is leading on. And also, why did they have to mention that her father was Guatemalan? Does that like play into the story or what? Like, I'm ready to find out. Also, one of the people on this book said that I devoured this book. There's something about the writing that is so sensuous and transportive, while also filled with an underlying sense of dread. I enjoyed the themes of storytelling, generational ties, complicated female friendship, and control. That sounds fire. Like, that's a good review to give, because storytelling, generational ties, complicated female friendship, control, those are all things that I feel can make a good book. So we're going to see what this book is talking about. Ana Reyes, I haven't heard of you, but I got faith in this book. Like I said, it's #1 on the bestseller list in that store, so gotta be good in some sort of way. So we gonna figure it out, and Cousin Five is gonna tell you how you feel about it. Y'all already know that. So let's do it. Okay, so we are down to the last book, and that is The Library of Borrowed Hearts by Lucy Gilmore. The cover caught my eye. Like I told you, I'm a cover junkie, and this cover is to die for. I'm not gonna hold you. It's fire. So I'm gonna read y'all the synopsis. It says, Chloe Sampson has been struggling to take care of her 3 younger siblings, to find herself, and to make ends meet. She's just about at the end of her rope when she stumbles across a rare, old book at the library where she works, only to be shocked when her cranky hermit of a neighbor swoops in and offers to buy it for an exorbitant price. Intrigued, Chloe takes a closer look and discovers notes scribbled in the margins between 2 young lovers from back when the book was new. Unable to resist following the clues left behind, Chloe is delighted to realize this isn't the only book filled with romantic marginalia. But as she falls deeper into a breathless literary scavenger hunt, she's only left with more questions. What happened to the tragic lovers who corresponded in the margins? And what does it have to do with the sad old man next door, who only now has begun to open his home and heart to Chloe and her siblings? In a romantic tale that spans the decades, Chloe discovers that there is much more to her curmudgeonly neighbor than meets the eye, and in allowing herself to accept the unexpected friendship he offers, she'll learn that sometimes the stories most worth telling begin in the unlikeliest of places. This seems like a book that might really hit you right in the feels. I'm excited to see what Chloe found in the book. Like, I feel those old love stories and those stories from back in the day, like, will really get to you, because that old school love is some of the best love. And they're talking about sometimes the stories most worth telling begin in the unlikeliest of places. That's very true, because we always look for places that we're comfortable with, or places that, like, you know, we think we gonna find what we're looking for. But when you really just go outside the box and talk to somebody that you would have never talked to, or go somewhere you never would have went, you find out things and you see stuff that you really fall in love with, and you learn new stuff. I'm super excited to read this one because, like I said, those old school, those real young lover mystery stories is fire, in my opinion. And I think that this is going to be a really good book. And like I said, I think this might be one that really hits you in the feels. So I can't wait to read this. And again, I'm going to let y'all know what it's hitting on. But that's the end of my mini book haul. Like I said, I got some really good books. I think I got some books that I'm going to love. That nonfiction book, I'm excited to read it. And I hope I gave y'all some good recs. Like, I hope y'all found some books in here that sound exciting or interesting and that y'all wanted to read. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't read them already, I hope you found some books that you liked. But that's the end of the video. So make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe. Y'all know it's Cousin Five, your favorite book cousin. I'll be dropping some more videos. But for now, I'm out. Y'all have a great day. Peace.